IFRS 7 is a global accounting standard focused on financial instruments. It requires companies to disclose key information in their financial reports. This makes company finances clearer and more comparable worldwide. Before IFRS 7, inconsistent rules made investing riskier and comparisons difficult. Now disclosures are more reliable, helping investors, lenders, and others understand company risks and performance. The standard builds trust in financial statements. IFRS 7 is essential for anyone using financial reports to make decisions. In this guide, we'll break down what IFRS 7 covers and why it matters. You'll learn about financial instruments, required disclosures, and the risks involved. By the end, you'll see how IFRS 7 brings transparency and confidence to financial reporting. Let's get started. We'll make it simple, step by step. What are financial instruments? Simply put, they're contracts with monetary value. Examples include cash, loans, company shares, and government bonds. One party gains a financial asset, another takes on a liability or equity. Derivatives are also financial instruments. Their value depends on something else like interest rates or commodity prices. These instruments can help manage or create risks. IFRS 7 ensures companies clearly explain what financial instruments they hold, why, and the risks involved. This openness prevents surprises and keeps financial reporting honest. Companies must describe their instruments and the reasons for holding them. They must also explain the risks these instruments bring. With clear disclosures, users get the full picture. That's the heart of IFRS 7. It's about clarity, not complexity. Now let's see what this looks like in practice. The main goal of IFRS 7 is transparency, making financial dealings open and clear. Companies must disclose details about their financial instruments in their statements. This helps users evaluate the impact on company health and future cash flows. Clear disclosures let investors, lenders, and others see how companies manage money and risk. Without these rules, important details could be hidden. IFRS 7 ensures companies show their hand so everyone gets a fair view. This builds trust and helps users make smarter decisions. It's not just for experts. Anyone interested in a company benefits. Whether you're an investor, lender, or just curious, transparency empowers you. You can judge how a company handles its finances and risks. This knowledge leads to better choices. That's why IFRS 7 is so important. It's about making financial information useful for everyone. Let's look at what companies must actually reveal. IFRS 7 sets out key disclosures companies must make. First, qualitative disclosures, explaining risk management goals, policies, and processes in words. This gives context to the numbers and shows how companies approach risk. Next, quantitative disclosures, specific data about risk exposures and financial instrument values. Companies must show carrying amounts for different classes of instruments. This helps users see the scale and nature of risks. Disclosures also cover effects on financial statements like gains or losses by category. This links financial instruments to actual performance. Fair value is another focus. Companies must explain how they determine market prices. If no active market exists, they describe the methods and assumptions used. The fair value hierarchy is key. Level 1 uses quoted prices, Level 2 uses observable data, Level 3 relies on unobservable inputs. Explaining these levels builds confidence in valuations. Users can judge if numbers are reliable. These disclosures connect the story behind the figures to real financial outcomes. They make risks and results visible. This level of detail is crucial for analysis. It helps users understand not just what a company owns, but how it values and manages those assets. IFRS 7 turns financial statements into powerful decision-making tools. That's why these disclosures matter. Next, let's break down the main risks companies must discuss. IFRS 7 requires companies to disclose three main financial risks: credit, market, and liquidity. Credit risk is the chance a customer or counterparty won't pay what they owe. Companies must explain their exposure and how they manage this risk. Market risk comes from changes in prices, interest rates, or currencies. Disclosures include how these changes could affect profits or cash flows. Market risk has three types: currency, interest rate, and other price risks. Liquidity risk is about whether a company can meet its short-term debts. Companies must show if they have enough cash or assets to pay what's due. For each risk, companies provide both qualitative details, how they manage it, and quantitative data, how much risk they face. This dual approach gives a full view of risk management. Users can see not just the risks, but also the strategies in place. These disclosures are critical for assessing a company's stability. They help investors and lenders judge if a company is prepared for financial shocks. Without this information, risk would be hidden. IFRS 7 makes sure it's out in the open. That's how it protects everyone in the market. Now let's see how these disclosures look in real companies. Let's look at how companies actually disclose risks under IFRS 7. For credit risk, a company shows its maximum exposure and any collateral held. They might include an age analysis of overdue receivables to show credit quality. For market risk, companies provide sensitivity analysis. What happens if interest rates or prices change? This shows the impact on profits and equity for each type of market risk. For liquidity risk, companies present a maturity analysis of their debts, when payments are due. This helps users judge if the company can meet its obligations. Fair value disclosures explain how values are determined using the fair value hierarchy. Level 1 uses active market prices, Level 2 uses observable data, Level 3 uses unobservable inputs. For Level 3, companies must detail their valuation techniques and key assumptions. These examples show how transparency works in practice. Users can see not just numbers but the reasoning behind them. This makes financial statements more useful and reliable. It's about turning complex risks into clear information. With these disclosures, surprises are minimized. Investors and lenders can make better decisions. That's the real power of IFRS 7. Now let's see who benefits most from all this. Who benefits from IFRS 7? Anyone using financial statements, investors, lenders, analysts, and regulators? Clear disclosures help investors make informed choices: buy, sell, or hold. They can better assess risks and potential returns. Lenders use the information to judge creditworthiness and set loan terms. Credit and liquidity risk disclosures are vital for these decisions. Companies benefit too. Transparency builds trust and attracts investment. The whole market gains from responsible risk management and open reporting. When information is clear, confidence in the financial system grows. Efficient markets allocate capital where it's needed most. IFRS 7 supports a healthier, more stable financial world. That's why it matters so much. It's not just about rules, it's about making finance work for everyone. With IFRS 7, you have the tools to understand and trust what you see. And that's the foundation of smart financial decisions.